Okay guys, we're here. I'm going to go for 75 kilometers today. That's 20 laps of the 3.8 kilometer run or track. And I'm going to do it at a 5-minute pace or below, which means we are looking at 6 hours and 15 minutes or less for these 20 laps. Let's get to it. What's up guys, I just completed my 75 kilometer skiing session. I did it in 5 hours and 49 minutes. And it's feeling good. I got 0 cramps today. And the main difference is my salt intake. Today I've consumed probably over 7, maybe 8 grams of salt, which is well above what any doctor would recommend. But they care about health and I care about performance. There's a big difference. Also, high salt intake on a day we're going to be sweating for almost 6 hours of high intensity training is very different from a regular person's ideal salt intake. So what I did is this morning I ate a huge breakfast, probably 2,500 calories or more, including a bag of cheese doodles, which was more than 2 grams of salt and probably 600 calories or something. Just carbs, actually maybe some fat, but mainly carbs. High carb breakfast basically. I drank about 3 liters throughout these 6 hours, which is not much to be fair. I'm just gonna make sure I counted that correctly. I drank a 2-liter iced tea and probably 3 times half a liter of Powerade. What's that? 1.5 liter more. So I drank 3.5 liters during the exercise and consumed about 4 grams of additional salt on top of the salt that was in the Powerade. And once again, the way I'm consuming the salt is through food stock. This is vegetable stock, I believe. And I ate the last one that I had in my pocket and started eating a new one. There's 4 grams of salt in a 10 gram, whatever the thingy-majig is called. And I ate basically a whole one, so that makes a huge difference. It's massive. Because what I've noticed is on these types of distances, mainly this type of duration, it's not really the distance, it's the duration and the intensity of the effort. If you're going to train for anything more than 2 hours intensely, you probably need salt. Because after that point, you've sweated a lot, and if you keep sweating, you'll eventually get cramps if you train intensely. If you're just walking, you could walk way further, but you'll still get cramps. But this is very common in marathon running, for example, which I've never done. I've never ran a marathon, but it probably feels about like this, but a bit worse, because skiing is significantly easier than running. However, this is a much longer distance than a marathon too. But I believe about 90 or 100 kilometers of skiing is probably equivalent to a marathon in difficulty. Although it will vary a lot depending on how good you are at either, how much you've trained for either, and other conditions such as the snow. You probably can't see, well you can actually. This is my windshield, and it wasn't snowing that much today, but a few millimeters during these 6 hours, and that slowed me down a bit in the downhills. Mainly I felt it. I felt that there was a difference. So this isn't even in optimal conditions, and I'm happy about that. So it was slightly worse and slightly slower. Well, not slightly, it was actually significantly worse than last week, where I did 70 kilometers in 5 hours and 1 minute. So this is 48 minutes slower and 5 kilometers further. Obviously that is not optimal, but I'm still very much on pace and en route to achieving my goal. So I'm happy about that. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Goodbye.